We advise if the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
You are what you watch.
Hello, my name is Erik and welcome to our program. Before anything else, we'd like to discuss for tonight's topic current events. Now, there's so much in current events that we've got to understand and to try and decipher. But as we go along, let me keep you up to date with a broadsheet of which I'm given an opportunity to write. And it's a quite interesting broadsheet which is going on nationwide, if I'm not mistaken, in a week or so. It's called Opinion. This is the latest magazine that's come out, latest issue. Now, you can also read this online. However, you cannot read all the different articles. Now, here is one newspaper where everything is literally an opinion. But the difference is critical thinking will get you going because this is one newspaper that has no fear. Now, it goes straight to the point, and it tells you the different points of view of which you need to know so you can begin to understand exactly all the different issues that are ongoing. Now, when you talk of current events, of course, what's hitting the headlines, let's say today, would be the big scam in Mindanao. But really, 15,000 people duped out of 12 billion pesos by a Malaysian, no less, a Filipino-Malaysian. And he gets away with it. Maximizing on even local government, politicians, and people. I mean, really, do we call them victims or do we call them stupid? I don't know. I mean, a complete return of your money in a fortnight and then thereafter 80% return in another fortnight. It sounds really fantastic, does it not? And if the people don't know that, then there must be, well, yeah, there you go. Before anything else, let me introduce to you our guest. You're going to enjoy this man. He's no stranger to you. His name's Erik Juan. He used to be the editor-in-chief of Opinion as well. Publisher of Ano ba na iba ng publisher at editor-in-chief?
The publisher...
Parang producer.
Everything, including the financial thing.
Ayun.
While the editor-in-chief...
Copy siya.
Yes, everything about the writers.
The writers lang.
And the stories.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Publisher ka, publisher.
Correct.
Okay.
used to.
Okay. I didn't ask you to sit here on Opinion. I asked you to sit here on all the different current events because you're one person you're right there in what's going on. Let's start with some of the little issues.
Okay.
This morning, Erik Colmenares went on radio. Inuna niya yung media na he threatens to issue a complaint, file a complaint to stop the VFA. Finally made tumayo. What do you think of that? What's your take on that?
Well, thank you, Harry. Hello to your televiewers.
Sorry, alam mo,
I know.
tuloy-tuloy na tayo.
Super active ka.
Diretso na, straight to the point.
And anyway, I think Neri is right in what he's doing, but the problem is the policy of the government. And this policy has never changed since time immemorial. So how can you do it without the support of a bigger bloc within the governance, especially the politicians?
So wala mangyayari dito.
Nothing really happened.
Again.
It's only our barking and exposing it to put awareness on it, but nothing will really happen.
Kasi ang nangyari nito, in 1992, we kicked the Americans out. We were then getting some $55 million, plus the outsourcing of this, which is probably bigger, and it helped Pampanga, at least in the Central Luzon area. Ngayon ang nangyari, nawala sila, napalitan naman ng BFA, according to Alan, Attorney Pagia, di ba? Sinasabi niya sa atin how can you have a VFA agreement when it is not ratified by the U.S. Congress, which is a requirement of their Congress, their Constitution, as well as ours?
Not even
Yung
the
mga-
MBT
Oh,
was
signed.
It was not signed by the U.S. Congress.
Not even by the senators here.
Yes.
Di walang document.
Yes.
So that's an illegal agreement that continues to persist, wherein the Americans are coming in, but they're developing already, and they have developed in the last 10 years. General Santos City. Correct me if I'm wrong.
But, excuse me, Harry, the Americans, we never kicked out the Americans.
They stayed all this time.
No, they kicked out themselves.
Sila nagbalabas.
It's a design. It's a crisis by design because they knew for a fact that before the Congress acted on it,
Alam
the
na nila.
Pinatubo will really explode.
Kaya inunahan na nila.
Yes.
They started the movement.
Kasi wala silang ginastos.
Ayun.
Instead of
pagaling.
us being given by another or sort of a gratuity for
Wala.
staying in all those bases, nothing. You see? Yan ang problema natin. At saka tingnan mo, look what happened. Remember, Erik was part of that group of the senators
Yes.
who
That's-
ousted the Americans.
Correct.
But when he became the president, he was the one who signed that BFA. Remember?
Pinirmahan niya. Nga, no?
Kaya doon makikita, it's all hypocrisy, pare.
So it's really what you know that drives you crazy in this country. The more you know, the more you become like us. We're crazy.
We're all like puppet on a string, you know?
But nakakatuwa yun. No? We actually never got rid of them. What we did was the Americans have become squatters in this country because they no longer pay rent. And they're still around.
Because they believe that they own this nation.
Is that why he decided, President Obama now, going fast forward into the future, today, is that why he's not coming to the Philippines?
Because the Americans never respected us. They
That's
never
the reason.
respected our politicians.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Baliwala tayo.
We're like batang clubs here. You see?
That's more direct to the point than I thought. But sige, go ahead.
They never get us what's due us.
Ah.
That's the main point here. Because we don't know how to deal with them. Plus, our
Takot tayo sa
politicians...
Amerikano, in other words.
I'm really pro-American.
Ah.
But if
Gee,
our
you don't
interest,
sound it, though.
if our interest is being affected by their manipulation,
Hindi ka papayag.
no way for me.
Ah.
I'm still a Filipino. You see?
But, Eric, don't you find it peculiar? Obama wins a second term. He gets an approval by no less the American voter. His first agenda is to go to the ASEAN.
Correct.
Okay, we've got problems in Europe. America can't handle China. It's trying to stay away from the wars that are about to explode with Israel and in the Gaza. So let's go to the ASEAN. But they come in, and in the very first question, asked by no less the Washington Post, silang dalawa ng Prime Minister ng Thailand, di ba?
Correct.
Why are you coming to the ASEAN? And why are you endorsing, short of endorsing, Cambodia? Di ba may problema yan sa human rights? And the Thai Prime Minister had to reply, and let's face the facts. It's all over the news. There is a problem in the Thai border and Myanmar.
Correct.
Di ba?
Correct.
Nagbabanatan sila doon. And
Correct.
ang daming nga refugee tumatakbo, ang dami namamatay, di ba? Isn't that also human rights, di ba? Barilan doon. That's war. Now, America is here to promote democracy. Is that the democracy that we understand America to be? Parang nakakalito, no?
Yeah, because they are promoting democracy in the Philippines.
No, we're promoting that to ourselves. I mean,
Not only that.
we already have dynasties.
The
you know.
Myanmaris, the Cambodians, the Thailanders, they're very patriotic. And
Ever
they are-
since,
they are united.
They're united. May disiplina eh.
That is our main problem here. We're so divided, and our leaders don't have self-respect. And they are easily to be manipulated. That's the main problem. That's why these Americans,
They can
they
step
never
on us.
respected our leaders. That's the main point here. That was the reason. How come they're dealing with the Thailand Prime Minister? They're dealing with the leaders of Myanmar.
Hun Sen.
See,
Imagine
Hun
in
Sen,
Cambodia, Hun Sen. I mean, this guy's a dictator. Di ba?
Not only that.
Oh.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But they have self-respect and they are united when it comes to national interest. They have to protect their interest. But do we? Do we?
Yan ang- the problem is us, the Filipinos. Our leaders are incompetent or
No,
their
actually,
inability.
they're not incompetent, but they're being blackmailed. They're easily manipulated by these foreign leaders, foreign governments. You see?
So, incompetence in diplomacy to get what is required for us, for our interests. Di ba? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct. Not
Diba?
only that, talking about diplomacy, we have an American foreign affairs secretary, we have a green card president. So, what do you expect?
Kayang-kaya na. So in other words, talagang nabully na tayo, nasa isang kanto
Hindi lang
tayo.
bully. Hi. We're like, papitan na string eh. Wala tayong magawa. We're so helpless.
In the newspapers today, early in the morning, this morning, it says that Noynoy signs the agreement together with ASEAN on the extent of the pursuit of more democracy, democratic practices in Southeast Asia, bringing in Myanmar already, di ba? Hindi kaya a document of fallacy ito? Because we
Correct.
already know that human rights is a problem in the ASEAN region.
Correct. Even here.
Yes, and even here. In the role of certain leaders who are oligarchs and dictators to a certain extent. Sure, we have a presidency, but we are ruled by so many families only in this country. Political dynasties who are now oligarchies, which are all over the place, correct? I mean, the president belongs to a politically strong family who's been around for 50 years. The Aquino Cojanco family, di ba?
Correct.
And everyone in the Senate is very much the same way.
Right.
And in local government, it's, boy, that's a bad case. Ang tawag na dyan, forced monarchies. Correct me if I'm wrong, di ba?
The appropriate word for that.
Monarchical authorities. Di ba?
Monarchical,
So it is
correct.
because they use their power and military private armies. Di ba?
Kami tayo system.
Ayan, tayo. So, what you're saying is all this time, no matter what happens, we're being bullied, we're being sidestepped. It's not really our stupidity or our incapability, but because we have no real discipline or self-respect,
Correct.
especially our leaders.
That's
Doon tayong
what
kinukulang.
counts
How do you correct that, Erik? How do you address that? Given the opportunity.
The truth?
Oh, pupunta, you sit on a, you put you in a stadium. Sige nga, Erik, correct it. Kami makikinig,
I'll
kami
tell you
susunod.
what will happen in China. Remember what happened during the time of the revolution of Mao Zedong?
Okay, 49, 46, 49,
Correct.
okay.
I believe with the takeover of Xi Jinping and the immediate takeover of Xi Jinping of the Central Military Commission, something will crop up anytime 2013. So, because of too much corruption in China,
Right now.
they have to reunite either by fighting another nation or another new enemy or
Inside
inside,
themselves.
purging inside. And I believe the only way to unite the Filipinos is to purge these corruptors,
Sumobra
not
na
only
kasi,
in
ano?
government,
Even in
basically in
business.
all walks of life.
Uh,
We have to do it immediately if we really want to change, real change.
But to purge the Filipino people and society will cause a lot of bloodshed if you were to force it.
Every government who wants to have a good governance, good leadership, good society must purge first. Try to analyze what happened in the past in all governments that has changed a lot. They had a bloody revolution, including the French Revolution.
But it's 2012. Is it? Do we need to still
Well,
undergo? It's the same thing. History dictates.
history never changed.
So
only
history
people.
dictates we have to.
Correct.
Or what Japan did, they did a closed-door society for 10 years and corrected themselves. China did the same thing. Closed-door
No.
policy sila.
Japan went to war.
Oh, went to war. It was China
The
that
one
closed
to war,
door.
went to war to loot and not to win the war. That was a big conspiracy with the Western elite. That was the reason why Japan was bombed in Hiroshima and Nagasaki when they were to keep the secret of the loot. You see?
Inubo sila.
In there, what they did was to keep the first route of Yamashita. They brought the loot inside Japan, but the main bulk, the half of it was
All over, scattered.
no, it was scattered in the Philippines. That's why everybody wants to come to the Philippines, including now.
Until now,
Until now, aren't you wondering why this Prime Minister Harper and so many big guns in so many nations are coming in?
So you
just to
believe
talk
that
with the
there is
president?
gold that's been left here since the war?
Oh
until
yes,
now.
up to now, up to now.
You're serious?
I'm very serious. You have to read my book. You have it, right?
Yes. Ando doon nga yung gold. But I didn't realize people are still pursuing this
No,
goal till the very day.
The ships are still here.
So, kaya
The
pala,
sunken ships
I've
are
met
all here.
some professional salvagers here, umiikot-ikot. So, totoo pala yan.
Totoo.
Talagang ginagamit pa rin nila.
Aren't you wondering why they want so many balikatans here?
So,
Is it?
in this guys lahat yan,
Of
conspiracy to
course.
cover up the real reason.
Definitely. Ganun kalalim, pare.
Oo nga. Ladies and gentlemen, if you find that Erik San Juan is a little bit over the top, the answer is yes, he is over the top. And there's no question about it. But, intriguing as it may sound, the truth will, what they say, the proof is in the pudding.
Correct. Correct.
So, if there are analyses and actual revelations, for example, narito talaga yung mga
Yeah, I wrote
nagsasalvage.
about it. It's
Oo.
all factual in my books. And nobody contested it.
Nobody contested it.
Right.
Why is it hindi nahabol ng gobyerno?
Kunyari, wala lang. Parang
Or
nothing.
pinapanood din niya kung may mga
Pero
nagpanggol.
they're doing something
Ah.
without us knowing. Okay? Yan ang problema.
So, are you saying we should continue not to trust government at the rate it's going, our leaders?
Well,
This is not a
I
transparent
believe
form
that
of
what
government.
we have to do is, just like what we're doing now, writing about it,
Document.
and helping the leader, because if you will not help the leader, apektado tayo lahat, whether you like it or not. So,
Okay, let's go to our
okay,
leader. Let's go to our leader,
Oh.
Pinoy.
Oh.
Your points of views.
Point of view. Well,
Ano base mo kay
it's really
Pinoy?
sad kasi yung sinasabi niya is all rhetorics.
He's very good at it.
Pero the truth of the matter,
Mm.
this nation is already in a failed state. We are now on a failed state.
Mm.
Crimes, too much. Killings, every day. Too much corruption. Kita mo yun sa customs lang. 39.6 billion ang nawawala. Nung kay Erap, 3.1 billion lang. Tapos kay Gloria, 3.8 billion lang.
Ngayon, 39.
2 years time, 39.6.
So, hindi kaya
Big.
problema ni Biaso niyan?
Well, alam mo ang problema, no? Just like any agency, pag ang pinasok mo dyan, hindi,
Competent.
not only competent, hindi talaga insider. Kasi yung mga ganyang
Ikot-ikutan
agency, kayang-kayang ikutan.
Ikutan.
Plus, alam mo naman itong mga smugglers, magaling sa soft touch operation. Ha? Kahit nalagyan mo yan ng matinong leader o opisyal dyan,
Kaya ikutan.
kakainin ng institusyon. Yun ang problema. So, paano mo magagamot yan? You see? Kaya kailangan talaga, kung talagang gusto mo mag-change ng governance, purgahan. Pero look what happened to the government of Noynoy. Instead of chopping all these corruptors of Marcos, Ramos,
Everyone.
Over
the years, over the
i-recruit
decade.
pa niya.
Bakit niya
i-recruit.
kinuha? Bakit niya pa ni-recruit?
Yan ang galing nito mga corruptors. They know how to do soft touch operation with this kind of people.
It's not anymore money because the president is not
No,
exactly poor.
It's
And he
still
doesn't.
about money.
So, do you think Pinoy is corrupted and he requires more money?
I cannot say right now, but action speaks more than words. And data coming from foreign governments, coming from foreign financial institutions, coming from foreign NGOs to speak about it. Because yung mga survey na pinagawa niya sa mga pinsan niya, look what happened, nagbabackfire sa kanya ngayon.
Nagbabackfire.
Kaya ngayon, kunyari, nagkakasakit siya.
So,
Hindi.
fake lang pala yan.
No, talagang sinasakit, pero hindi yung sinasabi niyang sakit niya.
Iba sakit niya kuno.
Kasi, plain and simple, common sense. Yun, just like what happened to Lagarde.
Mm.
He should have called Lagarde that I can't make it and my vice president will handle
Correct.
the meeting with you. Nothing at all.
Masama.
Ano talaga yung may sakit siyang hindi sinasabi sa atin. Ang masama rito, kaya nga dapat
Second na yan, sa Australia, nagkasakit din siya.
same thing din. Kasi
Pareho na rin.
pag nakikita niya, alam mo, ang advice ko kay President Noynoy, wag na siya magbabasa ng intelligence report. Kasi the more na magbabasa siya ng mga, lalo yung top secret, lalo siyang nagkakaroon ng
Hypertension.
manifestation
and
yun manifestation yung na yan yung mga sakit na yan Kaya yun ang advice ko sa kanya. Kasi the more na mayroon siyang nababasang ganyan or may nagbubulong sa kanya ng mga problema. Remember, one time yan nga ginawa niya doon sa isang cabinet secretary siya.
Tinerminate niya kasi ayaw niya
Bad news Ito, siyempre, binibigyan ka ng mga intelligence report tapos matindi na pala yung problema. Tapos sinasabi ng mga pinsan mo sa mga survey nila na okay.
Okay,
So, paano how do you reconcile it?
lumalala.
Yun. Kahit na magaling ka mag-delegate ng job mo, ng work mo, kung yung mga mismong nagde-delegate silang problema mo.
So, the problem is, it's no longer just the leader, it's the system and the people that are surrounding.
Correct.
That means all of us Filipinos, we have a problem
Damay
as well.
tayo. Damay tayo. Collateral damage tayo.
At the same time, we also caused it because we have what we call the pursuit of tolerance.
Yun ang problema.
We can absorb anything that anybody does.
We're so pliant like a bamboo. Yeah, look what happened to us. Trash in, trash out.
Okay lang sa atin na, okay lang yan, pagbigyan mo na yan,
Kawawa
kawawa
may
naman.
pagkain tayo dito sa bahay.
Yun.
Without us knowing, pagbili mo ng pagkain, mas mahal na.
Well, ganun naman nangyayari. Ako, I still remember when it was Ramos's time, when the price of rice was 600 pesos a bag for 50 kilos. And then sinabi niya, aakyat yun to, nag-1-2 yun, di ba? Overnight, 100%. But that's temporary because the supply of rice internationally was problematic because of the weather, disturbance. Alam mo, since then, hindi na bumaba. Umakyat pa nga eh. Naging times 3 na. It's already almost 2,000 for a 50 kilo bag. The new normal became the standard and, okay lang.
Yan naman, pang masama yan, yung new normal yan eh. Para tayo lahat gago eh, with that new normal eh. Tingnan mo yun, talking about rice. Nahuli yung mga smugglers.
Nahuli.
Pero sino yung taga-NFA na dapat hulihin din?
Kaibigan mo mga yan eh.
I don't mind kasi kaibigan is kaibigan. Pero pagka gumagawa ng kalokohan, ibig mo mag-resign na lang tapos tatakbo pang congressman? What about yung ginawa mong kasalanan na pinabayaan mong mag-smuggle itong mga taong ito? You see, simple as that. Ito pa, yung kay Delpin Lee. Talking about Delpin Lee. Tamo, ngayon si Delpin lang na ngayon na nagdidemanda kay Binay sa pag-ibig niya. Paano? Pinailan mo ng kaso yung bribe giver. Bakit hindi mo sinama yung mga bribe taker?
Dapat yun, di ba? Dapat yun.
Di walang kaso. Kaya ngayon, malakas ang loob ng kaya kita mo. Saka ito pa. Bakit ka magbibigay ng reward? Kung talagang magtatrabaho lamang ng tama yung NBI, law enforcers,
ba't mo bibigyan pa?
Bakit magbibigay? Do it. Kung di yun lang matatanggalin mo yan.
Correct.
Diba?
Performance eh.
Performance. Walang performance audit dito eh. Pagkabata niya, sige, parang wala lang. Yun ang malaking problema natin. Tayo lahat ng apektado, dahil team mo yung mga iba talaga, yung iba kasing gumagawa ngayon, kung hindi nila mahuli, ako pang...
Sila pa. Ako pa.
Ako pa. Simple as that. Kaya lahat mali.
Mali. Okay. We're gonna have to take a short break, Eric. We're at the bottom of the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, as you hear all these little comments and points of views, innuendos, if you must, you have to take it in stride and try to understand the bigger picture of what exactly we're talking about. We're going rather fast and jumping from one topic to another, but in reality, it's all interrelated. We were talking about the poor virtue of the word tolerance. That virtue is tolerance, but it's not even a virtue. But maybe it is. The virtue should be patience, not tolerance. But in our case, it's tolerance because we allow people to step all over us. So we don't have the discipline to stand up and say, stop. Enough is enough. I want to move forward. Because we allow it, that's why you have dynasties left and right and oligarchies, which is why in the last 50 years, the same families are owning everything. At the rate they're going, to begin with, the sari-sari store and the corner shop grocery stores, which we had a lot of, are no longer there. It's called the huge and gigantic SMs, which is everywhere. Now, at the rate this is going, the insatiable appetite of the oligarchs or the rich and powerful will start to clash with each other, and we will become collateral damage, as Mr. San Juan is saying. The problem is, as this is ongoing, you're still going to be sitting there watching, and again, with this, what we call this disservice to the country called tolerance. So, when we come back, we will try to purge this time the issue of the word purging or correcting the country. Do we really need to go to battle? Do we need to get scarred? Do we need to draw blood for us to learn the virtue of discipline? Obviously, the answer is yes, according to Erik San Juan. Stay with us, and let's purge that issue.